प्लान अप्रूव्ड है, ड्राइंग फ्रीज हो चुके हैं, फिर भी साइट एग्जीक्यूशन हर वीक ड्रिफ्ट क्यों हो रहा है? मोस्ट फाउंडर्स थिंक्स दिस इज अ डिसिप्लिन प्रॉब्लम, दैट द साइट टीम इज जस्ट नॉट फॉलोइंग द इंस्ट्रक्शंस. But that's really what's actually happening. Plans don't fail because the sites team don't respect them. They fail because nobody clearly defined what's non-negotiable and what can be adjusted. Think about how it usually plays out. The plan gets made in the head office. It is reviewed in meetings. Gantt chart looks good, everybody nods. Then it gets handed over to the site. After that, pressure takes over. Material delivery gets delayed by a week. Client suddenly wants a design change. Labor doesn't show up because of weather. A critical approval is at stake. At that moment, what does your site team ask themselves? Not what was the plan. They ask, what will help us move today? And that's where the deviation starts. Your site engineer sees idle labor. He shifts them to another activity that was not scheduled yet, because keeping them productive feels better than having them just sit around. Makes sense in the moment, right? Your project manager gets a call that pipes have arrived early, but the approved storage area is not ready. It tells them to offload near the boundary wall. Small adjustment. Your QC inspector is supposed to hold up the work until test reports come, but the client is visiting tomorrow and there is pressure to show progress. So he lets it slide with a mental note to do it later, check it later. None of these people are careless. They are reacting to reality. But each small deviation compounds, and within 2 weeks, the site is running on a completely different sequence that was not planned. The second problem is ownership. When deviations happen and there are no real consequences, what message does that send? Or worse, when the management themselves override the plan during an emergency, saying, बस ये वाला काम निकाल दो, बाकी बाद में देखेंगे. What does that team learn? They learn that following the plan is optional, that progress matters more than process. And once that pattern sets in, no amount of monitoring fixes it. You can do more site visits, send more WhatsApp reminders, create more check-in calls, doesn't matter, because the culture has already shifted. Execution continues, but alignment is lost. So if your site team aren't following the plan, don't start by correcting execution. Start by checking whether your plan was actually usable on site in the first place. Does it clearly state what absolutely cannot change versus what has flexibility? Does your site team know which activities can be swapped, which sequence can be locked? Who has the authority to approve deviations? Is it the site engineer, the project manager, or does everything need to come back to you? Because if that's unclear, people will make their own calls. What happens when materials gets delayed or clients change their mind? Is there a defined escalation process, or does everyone just scramble and hope for the best? These aren't execution problems, these are planning problems. In EPC projects, plan don't fail at site, they fail before site ever begins execution. If you're dealing with this in your projects and want to figure out where your planning is breaking down, let's talk. Comment below or send me a message. And thanks for watching.